Hello, Leo. Welcome to my channel and welcome to your December 2023 Tarotscope. It is such a blessing to be here with you, so thank you so much for joining me. In the description box below, you will find links to information on personal readings, the Soul Good membership channel on Telegram, and links to information on donations if you would like to explore any of those options, but of course, no pressure. You will also find a timestamp if you would like to jump to the start of your reading. However, please do use your discernment and keep in mind that this is a collective reading, not a personal reading. So take only what resonates with you and leave the rest. You may want to check out your sun, moon, and rising tarotscopes if you are aware of what those are for deeper insights into your month. December is a universal 1 month. And so as we close out 2023, we are also beginning a new cycle. This happens about every 9 years and does give us the invitation or the opportunity to get a head start or a leg up on what might unfold as we move forward. The number 1 resonates with the energies and attributes of new beginnings, instinct and intuition, creation, inspiration, uniqueness, action, motivation, self-leadership and self-empowerment, positivity, and creating our own realities. And this is what we're going to be looking into for this month. We're going to take a look at your overall energy, what wants to be created through you or for you, and this does not have to be physical, what challenges this might present, and getting some advice that will best support and serve you moving forward. So Leo, without further ado, let's dive in and see what December is bringing through for you. I want to pause for a moment because I'm a firm believer in nothing comes from nothing, and I was just about to say November there. This is not my first time or attempt at filming your reading, Leo. And I do feel that perhaps in the month of November for some of you, or maybe for someone specific, that November was incredibly challenging. And to be quite honest, that's not really much of a surprise necessarily because of that universal 9 energy that November held, right? Bringing us closer to endings. And I do feel that for some of you, based on what I've already picked up on, that November may have been your rock bottom, right? You may have kind of, for lack of better terms, experienced something that really kind of shook you, or maybe you fell on your face in some way, shape, or form. And I feel as though this was to prepare you for the new beginning that December was going to bring for you, or at the very least, prepare you for the opportunity for a new beginning should you choose to align with that. All right, so for real this time, let's dive in and see what December is bringing for you, Leo. Please, Father, Mother, Life, Universe, spirits, guides, angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, tell us about the overall energy of December 2023 for Leo, please. All right, thank you. Tell us what wants to be created through or for Leo, please. What wants to be created through or for Leo, please? Okay. Wow. What challenges might this present for Leo, please? Right here. Okay. And what advice will best support and serve Leo moving forward, please? Thank you. All right. What else do we need to know, please, about the overall energy of December 2023 for Leo? What is going on with you, Leo? Thank you. Tell us more, please. What wants to be created through or for Leo? Tell us more. Okay. Thank you. Tell us more, please. What challenges? All right. Tell us more, please. What advice will best... Okay. Thank you. And anything else we need to know or may have missed, please, about the overall energy of December 2023 for Leo. Okay. Anything else we... Okay, thank you. Anything else we need to know or may have missed? Yep, thank you. And anything else we need to know or may have missed, please, about the advice that will best support and serve Leo moving forward. Thank you. Okay. Let's take a look, Leo, at your overall energy for this month. We do have here leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. Yeah, that's definitely some of the energy that I was picking up on, right? This invitation for you to begin a new chapter, but it requires your active participation. It requires you choosing that for yourself, Leo. And I do feel like the month of December really is positioning you in such a way that it's almost this energy of like the Fool in the tarot, right? Where there's this new beginning that you have the opportunity to step into. But it is going to require you to be courageous. It is going to require you to leave behind the things that are not serving you or that are not in alignment with a new beginning. And I feel like if this is for you, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. I feel like the month of November probably, again, if this resonates for you, probably showed you the things that really aren't working. This could be relationships, habits, patterns, behaviors, thought processes, environments, perhaps work situations, you name it. It could be a multitude, pardon me, of things, depending on your story and your journey. But I do feel that you probably have an idea of what these things are already, right? I feel like the potential is there for you, but again, it is requiring you to go first. I'm being reminded of a quote, and forgive me, I think it's Joseph Campbell, I believe, who said this. Take one step towards the gods and they will take 10 steps toward you. And I feel like this is the energy coming through for you. It's like you have to be this active participant in choosing that new beginning and moving forward and leaving things behind and trusting this new path that's laid before you, right? You go first, the universe will catch you. I also feel that with the moon in the background here, if you notice, she's not looking at the moon, okay? So there's a couple of things I'm getting with the moon. The first thing that I'm getting is turning your face from delusion, right? Or illusion. Turning your face from the, let's say, stories and things that have maybe kept you limited or restricted or weighed you down in some way, shape, or form, right? Really just turning your back on those things. Now, I know this is far easier said than done, but I do feel like this is what is being asked of you. I also feel with the moon there in the background that there is this energy of surrender. Okay? Of surrender and needing to do so. Right? Leaping into the arms of the universe. Now, that's not to say that you should be doing things all willy-nilly, but if your intuition, if God, your angels are speaking to you very loudly about something, I feel like you have an opportunity to step into something different. but it is going to be your choice, okay? It is and always will be your choice. God, the angels, there is no entity or being that is going to force you to do anything, okay? We have here break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, and rewriting the future. You really can't make this up, Leo, because again, I feel as though you're being given this opportunity to step out of an old way of being, to heal. Like for some of you, I feel like your healing journey has just begun in some sense, right? I feel like you are being asked to come face to face with things that maybe you have ignored for a long time or hidden from yourself for a long time. Okay, I feel as though, again, you're being given this opportunity to rewrite the future, to and essentially create a new reality for yourself where you are not living this very cyclic um, pattern, right? It's interesting because we are cyclic beings, right? We do go through these cycles because we are nature, right? We're not separate from it. We are it. And we too experience things cyclically or experience seasons. But in this case, I feel that this is more karmic. This is more, those cycles where it's like you have every opportunity to step out of that, right? To kind of get off the merry-go-round. But it's actually choosing that for yourself, right? You have an opportunity here to emerge from the darkness for some of you. If you don't resonate with, maybe this being, how do I say, being maybe fairly new, if you will, or just beginning your healing journey, I feel like some of you have been working on this, right? Others of you have been working on this healing, on breaking patterns, freeing yourself from them for some time. And I feel like you could be on the precipice of something. Now, there is this energy of leaping, right? You go first. Um, it feels like you could be on the precipice, and the next step for you is to take that leap. And in this case, it's still coming in as like the Fool energy. But here's the thing about the Fool. The Fool knows something that like no one else knows, right? The Fool has this wisdom within and is leaping based off of that, off of the infinite potential that he feels for whatever this move is. And I feel this is where you are, right? So you may be feeling, again, like you're right on the cusp of something, even if you aren't sure what that is. And I feel like when you feel guided to leap, this is where you move from one way of being to another, right? Coming out of the darkness, coming out of that cave, coming into the light, stepping into a new way of being. For some of you, I don't know why I'm getting this. This is really interesting. For some of you, I feel as though you could be on the verge of really like freeing yourself from whatever pattern permanently, right? And that's not to say that these things won't pop up, from time to time, but I just feel as though it's not going to impact you in the same way that it did previously. It's not something that is going to limit you or restrict you. It is not something that I feel is going to, how do I say that you are going to like cower from or fear, right? I feel as though if it were to pop up for you, you would see it, recognize it for what it is, and keep going anyways, right? So very interesting energy is coming through here. What else do we have? Six of Swords, moving on, leaving everything behind that really is not working. Leo, I feel like you are in a state of transition, right? Bringing or carrying with you into this new beginning only the things that are serving you, only the things that are going to be conducive to your growth, your evolution, your healing, your rising, right? And I love, again, I love this, but it's going to require you to like be courageous and get in that boat, right? And leave again, like everything behind that really, really isn't working. And again, I feel like you know what this is if this is for you. Ooh, Leo, we have the King of Wands here as well. This is really quite beautiful energy. I do feel again that this is an opportunity, right? This is not something that is guaranteed. I want to say this and I want to be very, very clear about that. But there is an opportunity here for you with the King of Wands. This is that energy of overcoming challenges, of seeing the big picture, of really being the leader of your own life or being the king of your jungle, right? And I feel as though I okay, regardless of where you are in your journey, whether you're just beginning or if you've been at this healing thing, this growth thing, this evolution thing for some time, I feel as though there is this desire to be the main character in your own life, to be the leader of your own life. I feel like how do I say, sitting on the sidelines and just watching life pass you by, or watching other people like make decisions for you or call the shots is like, no, I'm done with that. I really feel that there's like no tolerance for that, right? I feel as though it's like I really do not want to experience this anymore, right? I feel like there's this desire to be that king of the jungle, to put your crown back on, to stand strongly and firmly in who you are and what you want to create for yourself. There's this, it's actually this inspiring and bold kind of energy, because it's like, I'm not just going to sit here, right? It takes a lot of courage to come to that, to acknowledge that for yourself, to take responsibility for that, to see the bigger picture, and to recognize where you may have been sitting on the sidelines and deciding, this is not what I want for myself. That's a pretty powerful place to be in, Leo. Ooh, we have Judgment here in the reverse. So here's the beautiful thing about this. So I don't ever really plan necessarily like where I'm going to put what cards. And certainly I don't really ever know how many cards are coming. But I feel before I even flipped this card over, I had felt like I wanted to put it over here. Okay. So why this is so fascinating to me is we have this leap energy with Six of Swords, which is moving on, King of Wands, which is being the leader of your own life, right? Overcoming obstacles and moving forward. We have break the chain over here with ancestral patterns, healing and rewriting the future with Judgment in reverse, which is this energy of a lack of perspective, skewed self-image, lack of self-awareness, doubt, self-loathing, harsh judgment of self, right? And I feel like this is what you are healing from, or have the opportunity to heal from. This is what you have the opportunity to release. This is how do I say? The future that you have the opportunity to rewrite is doing so omitting these things. right? No longer doubting yourself, no longer unaware, okay? No longer sitting in this energy of self-loathing or this skewed self-image, right? But instead, moving forward in your strength. Again, being the king of your own jungle. That's not to say that, okay, let's be real, Leo. The jungle is a harsh place, right? The jungle is a harsh place, but it's your jungle. And you are in control of how you move through that. Whether you let it eat you alive or you thrive in it, right? So I feel like these are the energies that are showing up for you for this month, and that is incredibly powerful. But again, it is a choice. It is a choice. And you're being given the opportunity to see things from a very different perspective. Very, very different perspective. We have here Pleiadian activation, coming together, harmony in the heavens, and resolution. So Leo, I feel as though, again, for some of you, like I was speaking on earlier, you are like on the precipice of this resolution, of healing this, of breaking free from it. I feel, again, you will know if this is for you. Please do use your discernment, because I'm not guaranteeing anything at all. But I do feel that wherever you are in your story, there is this opportunity to create more harmony. And for me, Leo, the heaven, the kingdom of heaven is not up in the clouds. It is not somewhere outside of yourself. It is within you. And so that harmony that I feel you are creating or have the opportunity to step into is within, right? Like to create this harmony within you, to bring things back more into balance within you. And I feel that for some of you, this, how do I say? For some of you, I feel like this is big, in the sense that you may have, it may have been quite a while since you've felt balanced or harmonious or peaceful within yourself. Even if you're somebody who's been doing this, whole healing thing and evolving thing, spiritual journey thing for some time, that's not to say that you haven't had moments, Leo, but I feel like, something that it feels a little bit more sustainable. This is something that may have, you may not have been experiencing. And for those of you who are kind of new and just beginning your journeys, I feel as though this is certainly something that has been out of reach, or has felt out of reach rather, for some time. And I feel like there's that longing to feel some kind of relief, some kind of reprieve, some kind of harmony within, right? But do know that things are coming together in your favor. Things are being divinely orchestrated for you to bring this in. But again, it is going to take your active participation. It is going to take you deciding, right? I love this energy, Leo. I really, really do. All right. What wants to be created through or for you, Leo? We have, that's so funny. We have share your voice, come out of the cave. Persecution, expression, absolutely. Right. This is what I was picking up on already. When we were looking at this card here, I was picking up on that come out of the cave already. I do feel, again, this is an opportunity for you to step into something different. But what's interesting about this, and I feel like this, I can't remember, but I feel like this came up in another Tarotscope as well. The interesting thing about this is if you look at the share your voice card, there are choppy waters there, right? So leaving that the comfort, if you will, of that cave is going to take courage. It's going to take bravery because that water is not calm, it's not peaceful. And here you have the Six of Swords where the water looks choppy, right? It doesn't look calm. But it is that transitionary period. It's like you've got to get in the boat, you've got to brave the waters in order to experience something greater, something different. And I do feel like this is what wants to be created for you, is the opportunity to experience something different, right? This is so fascinating. I feel like the biggest message from this card, and the only thing that's really coming through, is that come out of the cave. Come out of the cave. For some of you, this could actually be about sharing your voice, because we do have the King of Wands, which is that leader energy, right? And so you could be someone who's in a position to share, right? To share your voice, to be inspiring to other people, to share your creative ideas. And for some of you, maybe this is the precipice that you're on, right? It's just going to require you taking that leap and trusting that coming out and sharing and doing the things is going to pay off, that you will be rewarded for that in some way, shape, or form, right? That it's going to be fulfilling to you in some kind of way. We have here for you as well, don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Leo, I don't really feel as though there's an energy here of, how do I say this? I feel like there is an aspect of like dimming to fit in, but I don't feel that it's necessarily this, what is the word, like conforming type of energy so much. Maybe for some of you, but I feel as though more of you might resonate with dimming your own light for the sake of, or rather, let me rephrase. I feel like the reason why some of you may be dimming your own light is because of whatever trauma, wounding you may have been carrying or are carrying, right? And that could look incredibly different for everyone. Just to give you a little something real world that you might be able to, kind of find a thread on, if you will. For me, something that I was doing that was dimming my light, and it wasn't because I wanted to fit in necessarily. I feel like sometimes we take some of these messages too literal, but it was my wounding where I didn't feel like enough, right? And so I was always like people pleasing, and that's how I was dimming my light. So I feel as though this, you might resonate more with something like that, okay? Because Leo tends to have this very kind of stubborn energy. I mean, sometimes I feel like we give Leo a bad rep because they could, how do I say, those who aren't comfortable with themselves, or how do I say this? Those who aren't driven by that heart, if you will, sometimes can see it as being like vain or something. But I feel as though when it comes to like the wounds that we carry and things like this, you may feel as though, you're dimming your light or like to cater to the wound, right? Like maybe somebody told you you were too much. You're too showy, you're too emotional, you're too passionate, you're too loud, you're too fill in the blank. And so then you started to just kind of tuck that away, right? You just kind of started to pull that back in and pull it back in and pull it back in. And I feel like you could have been dimming your light in that way. I really hope this makes sense. But I feel like, what wants to be created for you is to not fear your own light, is to not hide it for the sake of anyone, and to not hide it because of whatever wound you're carrying. Certainly that means that you've got to face those things, right? But I feel like again, this is what wants to be created for you. One where you are shining your light brightly. Leo, after all, you are the sun. And so I feel like spirit is, that the spirit is coming through here to say, we need the sun to shine. Leo, you don't do justice to anyone or yourself, God, by hiding your light in a cave. You are the sun. You are meant to shine brightly, to give life to those around you and to the things that, like, how do I say, the things that like burn within you, right? So I feel that the whole point is to get you back to shining as you're meant to, Leo, in whatever way you are meant to. Okay? Because even though you may not be somebody who resonates with like being on an actual physical stage, right? You shining in your own light and just being your most authentic self, like down at the soul level, just the people, just by doing that, anybody you come into contact with, or or around in any way, shape, or form, is going to be impacted by your light. And that is something that I feel doesn't own, like that serves more than just yourself. Okay, I hope this makes sense, you guys. You also have, wow, lots of Pleiadian energy, double mission, channeling, and uplifting humanity. This is what I was just talking about. This is what wants to be created through you and for you. I feel as though, again, you may be somebody who's been on this journey for a minute, and you may have been, you may be somebody who is, to the best of your ability, trying to live in purpose and your mission, and to align with what you feel is meant for you. And again, I feel like this is where all of this is trying to take you, right? It's trying to take you to a space where you are just rising, where you are fulfilling that, right? For those of you who are just kind of starting on this, or, I feel as though this is trying to align you with something that's going to give you that purpose, right? Something that is going to give you that thing that drives you forward, that inspires you, that gives you something to turn that big heart, that fiery heart energy toward, right? And again, so that you can create that harmony in the heavens. I love this so much, because though there's challenge that comes with this, I mean, the King of Wands says you can overcome that. You've got to be brave, but you can overcome that. And if you allow, you have this opportunity to, again, just really experience life in a very different way. One where you are in your own skin, as it were, and are shining brightly and, feeling more fulfilled and harmonious in your experience. All right, let's take a look. Ooh, you have Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. So I just want to talk about something for a moment. You have pyramids here in this card. There's a triangular shape here in this card, and there's also one in this card, also one being made by the hands of this being here. And that upward triangle is masculine energy. Leo, you are a masculine energy. And that masculine energy is confident in its let me back up. In its natural state, or in its balanced or divine state, that masculine energy is confident. It is, how do I say? It's confident, it's courageous, it's assertive, right? And I feel like this is where you are being guided to. Like this is the energy that I feel wants to move through you to help you to bring this into your experience. I hope that makes sense. Okay? I really do. Um, to be essentially expressive and to be assertive, right? To birth this. But with the Age of Light, you've been training for this for lifetimes. Leo, I feel as though how do I say, you have far more within you than probably what you give yourself credit for. I feel like there's more wisdom there than what you probably give yourself credit for. I feel like there's more drive, there's more passion, there's more. I feel like you've probably just only begun to scratch the surface of your potential. And even if you are somebody who, like I said, has been on this journey for quite some time, I feel like there's even more there available for you. Right. And the truth of it is, I'm somebody who follows um, Rudolf Steiner's work. And if that is a system that you are aware of, it's one where we have been training for this for lifetimes. We had to earn our right to be in a physical body. And, everything that we have experienced up until this point has brought us to where we are now developing our capital I, or our individuality. And the truth is, we have everything within us that we need to rise, to spiritualize, to ascend, right? We really have been training for this for lifetimes. We really do have gifts and talents and skills and wisdom that we hold within our soul's essence to help us to do that. Okay? And so I feel like for some of you, what wants to be created through you as well is a remembrance of the power that you hold, okay? Is a remembrance of the value that you hold. Okay? That you are somebody who is here with an opportunity to help pave the way, if you will, or to be a trailblazer for the Age of Light. Light being love, light being wisdom, light being knowledge and truth. And the more individuals who awaken to this and express this through their own individuality, okay, love, light, truth, knowledge, wisdom, the more that align with this, the better things are going to get. Certainly that's probably going to take some time, but still, again, it's that paving the way. Okay. And I just feel that remembrance is what wants to be created. Okay. But you've got to come at it, right? You've got to decide that you want better for yourself, that you are capable, that you can achieve anything that you set your mind to, that you have support, that you have everything you need, that you are essentially the magician, right? And the magician, interestingly, number 1 in the tarot, is activating the magic within by focusing energy, willpower, desire, and actions to create or shape your world. It is having everything you need to succeed. Okay. Ooh, we have the devil here, which, okay, so here's the thing about the devil, right? Oftentimes this can be perceived as kind of negative, let's say. All right. And a lot of times, the way that I perceive the devil is a lot like the ego, right? Is a lot like those lower egoic drives, because those are the things that fuel or what is the word? Yeah, I think fuel is probably the best word. That fuel things like addiction, hedonism, right? Which is the characteristics, let's say, of the devil energy. So often I see it as the ego. But when we kind of reframe it a little bit and we just shift our perspective slightly, um, the devil can be seen as kind of like rebellion. Okay, it can be seen as freedom, as freeing, like to free yourself from the restrictions, the limitations, the things that have been imprisoning you. Okay, so I feel as though this is what I feel wants to be created, right? Is that freedom from the things that have been restricting you, limiting you, right? I feel like it's stepping out of those limitations and stepping into magic, right? If you will. I feel like this is challenging or rebelling against, in some sense of those words, the things that, and this could be your own, wounding, trauma, patterns, behaviors, etc., that have been kind of keeping you stuck, right? It's like, I'm not gonna do XYZ because it is not conducive to what I want to experience. And here's the thing, Leo. Based on what I've learned, I'm of the belief that man or woman, cannot escape what he or she says, does, thinks, feels. Okay? You can't. That energy finds its way back to you eventually at some point or another. That's not to say that it shows up in the exact same manner as it did when it left, but whatever comes back to you holds a similar frequency of whatever it is you're putting out. Okay? And so I feel, again, what wants to be created for you is that responsibility, that releasing of fear, so that you are not perpetually bringing it back to yourself, right? It's breaking free from that. That's what I feel this is. I also feel, I'm going to be real here. So the devil in the tarot is a representation of Capricorn. Okay? And Capricorn energy, ruled by Saturn, is responsibility and discipline and ambition and structure. And I feel like this is what wants to be created for you. So it's a very interesting kind of two-sided coin, if you will. But I feel that there are aspects of this devil energy that are working for you. Again, bringing in perhaps that responsibility, that discipline, that ambition and structure. And then there is another side of this where if you let it, you can essentially drown in those lower egoic drives and fall victim to addiction and hedonism and these sorts of things, or essentially step into those things and allow them to kind of run rampant within you. Okay, so take that as it resonates, but I do feel that there, again, I feel like there's this level of wanting to create that ambition and that structure within you, and maybe the discipline to move out of the things that really aren't serving you, to break those chains, to rewrite the future, right? And to free yourself from the things that have been holding you back. We do have here for you as well, halls of a mentee initiation, secrets revealed, treasures uncovered, and initiations. Yeah, like I was saying, there's that energy of like being right on the precipice. And I do feel like that initiation into the next level, into the next chapter, the next way of being, or a new way of being, is that initiation that wants to be created through you or for you. Okay, or is what wants to be created for you. What's interesting about this card is that there are these two pillars. One is black, one is white. One represents the physical world and the other represents spiritual world. And I feel like there's a need to find a balance between the two. Okay, being in the world but not of it, because you are a physical person, but you are also a soul. And I feel that neglecting one side over the other can really create an incredible imbalance within our experience. So I feel as though there's the desire for that to be created for you. I also feel like with secrets revealed and treasures uncovered, I also feel that, you know, this is what wants to be created for you. The unveiling, if you will, of things that you have always held within you, right? You've been training for this for lifetimes. I feel like those things want to be shared with you, right? Remembering those skills, those talents, those gifts, bringing them all back online and using them, I feel is what wants to be created for you as well. Right? Some of these things you may be aware of to some extent or another, but I feel that again, there is that energy of you have not even scratched the surface of the potential you truly carry. And I feel like that's partially, I mean, not to inflate your ego, but I feel like that is partially due to the fact that Leo, you're the sun. Okay? We have here, yes, we have here as well, solar light upgrade. Come on. Can't make this up. Solar plexus chakra, inner fire and willpower. Like I said, I feel like this is meant to spark that fiery heart within you so that you can use it toward whatever it is, right? To bring it from within you out. Now, the thing about the solar plexus is that when it is blocked or imbalanced, it tends to bring forth these energies of low self-esteem, powerlessness, insecurity. It tends to bring forth this energy of difficulty in relationships. Pardon me, let me back up a bit. I do feel like it could probably bring difficulty in relationships, and there's probably a reason why that came through. But it can tend to bring forth like manipulative tendencies, misuses of power, okay, which certainly can create difficulties in relationship. But as well, it can be about like control issues, okay? When it is balanced, it's sovereign, it's a leader, okay? It's confident. And I feel as though it also brings through that strong self-esteem, that strong sense of willpower and personal responsibility. Okay, so everything that has come through here aligns with this energy of that upgrade. Again, like I said, I feel like it wants to take you to the next level, where you are in your power as the sun. Again, not to inflate your ego, but look, I mean, you can't make this up, Leo. You really, really can't. All right, let's take a look now at what challenges this might present for you. We do have here warrior woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? Okay, so interestingly, for some of you, I feel like the challenges that this might present is going deep within and figuring out what that calling is, right? Doing the inner work, navigating the depths of yourself, right? Trudging through the muck and the mud and the darkness. I feel like that could be a challenge, okay? For others of you, I feel that part of the challenges that this might present is the fact that I feel like you've been a warrior to some degree or another, even if others would not see you that way for a period of time, right? I feel like you've been, to the best of your ability, trying to be strong, trying to, keep carrying the torch, like trying to um, press on, in whatever way, even if that's not something that is or has been necessarily like good for you, let's say. I feel like you've been, you know, trying to be strong. And I feel like for some of you, you may feel tired. So, exhausted even. You may have been living in like survival mode. And so I feel like this could also be a challenge because I feel like there's kind of this mindset of I don't know how much more I can take. Like I don't know if I have anything to give. Like I feel like I'm running on empty. I also feel, the challenges that it's going to present is the challenge itself. Okay? Because it is taking on that role of the warrior. Like I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to do what I need to do in order to move into this new way of being. So I know that's kind of anticlimactic in some way, but I feel as though, there's this energy of the challenge that it presents is the challenge itself, because I feel that looking at it is like, oh my gosh, like this is, it feels a bit daunting to some degree or another for some of you. We do have here the Page of Swords. Um, this is really kind of fascinating to me. Um, I feel like for some of you, part of the challenge is to not let your anxiety get the best of you. To not let your, how would I say? Um, it's, yeah, it's almost this energy of not letting your own thoughts deceive you, right? Again, not letting your anxiety get the best of you. I feel like that this is part of what's coming through here. I also feel that there's something here about part of the challenge, maybe for some of you, like the actual work, the knowledge that has to be accumulated, get the best of you. Okay? Because here's the thing, and this is something that I have myself experienced coming into this spirituality, or this way of living, and wanting to heal and do the things. You don't really realize how much there is to learn. And, New Age spirituality makes it look, in some cases, like really easy. And it's not. It's messy and complicated, a lot of the time. And, there's a lot that has to be learned, and you have to be open to allowing that information to come in. You've got to be willing to seek it out as well. So I feel like this is also part of the challenge that this may present for you. Okay. And here's the thing, like I'll just be real with you. For me, I became so curious that it's something that I just really love learning about. Um, but knowing that Leo is that like inner child, I know that sometimes it can be hard to like sit and do the things. You know what I'm saying? To like really devote your mind to something. Okay? To like really kind of quiet the chatter in your mind and focus. And I feel like this could also be part of the challenge, right? Um and for some of you, being in that state of like just learning, I feel like that could also be part of the challenge, right? Um, having another part of this is, being truthful with yourself, having the fortitude to, again, keep moving forward. It's interesting that we have a warrior woman with that sword there, and now the page of swords. And the thing about the swords energy is that it's not just the mind, okay, and like learning things, but it's also taking what you learn and turning that into wisdom. So another part of the challenges that this may present for you, Leo, is turning that knowledge into wisdom, using what you learn to help you, right? Utilizing it to perpetuate your growth, your evolution. Okay, I feel like that could also be part of the challenge for you. And funny enough, that's the only tarot that's out, so I really feel like it's speaking to that. We have here as well Akashic Stargate, aligned with purpose, crossroads, no wrong path. I do feel that for some of you, part of the challenge will be second guessing yourself, because I do feel that you're at a crossroads. And I do feel that some of you don't want to repeat the same mistakes. I feel like some of you don't want to experience the same things, anymore, any longer. And so I feel that there's some of you that may experience this second guessing of yourself, where it's like, is this the path I'm supposed to take? Is this the path I'm supposed to take? Is this the one? You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's a lack of trust in self already, and so that's, even further amplified. I feel that trusting that you are aligned with purpose, if you decide to move with this energy, is going to be another part of that challenge, right? Trusting that whatever path you take. Now, here's the thing. Let's be real about this. I don't want to be all like, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is, all woo, I guess, about this. There are paths that are less desirable than others, okay? And one choice or another can certainly determine who, if you're on that path or one that is of, let's say, a higher vibration or is more aligned with your highest good. But even with that, if you choose a path that is, let's say, less desirable, that maybe is going to create more challenges or obstacles, that's not to say it's wrong. There are lessons there that are needed to be learned. And so I feel that not beating yourself up about taking whatever paths, whether in the past or moving forward, is also going to be a challenge for you, or could be a challenge for you. And I feel like the key to, lessening that, if you will, is to be very intentional about the path you're choosing, right? Not acting impulsively, meditating on it, praying about it, journaling about it, thinking about it, delving into your heart about it, listening to your intuition about it, pausing before you make decisions, I feel like is a way to, at least help to curb that a bit. Right? Am I wanting to take this road because of my wounding, my trauma, my fear, my programming? Or am I wanting to take this road because it's what because it's what my intuition is speaking to me? It's because at my heart level, my soul level, this is where I'm supposed to be. Okay? We do have here as well, star being healing codes Important information. Wounds are healed, recharging. So it's interesting because I did say that I felt like some of you probably felt exhausted. And I do feel for some of you, part of the challenge could be giving back to yourself in a way that does help to replenish your energy. And if you are somebody who has been living in survival mode, I will just give you this and say that when you start to come out of that, oftentimes you are exhausted, like physically, emotionally, mentally exhausted. And you will probably want to sleep. I'm just going to be real here because your nervous system, your body has been running in survival mode for maybe, months, years, decades, whatever it is. And when you come out of that, your body is like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It's like running a freaking 3-day marathon without sleep. Not that I advise that, okay? But just to give you some kind of perspective. Your body is like exhausted, and this can last for periods of time. It could be longer than a couple of days. Just I just want to share that with you in the case that maybe some of you were unaware. And this may be something, if you are someone who has been living in survival mode, you may want to look into this deeper. Okay, you may want to research this at a deeper level to see how you can help yourself as you come out of that state of being. Okay, so there's that. I also feel like part of the challenges here is accepting and integrating and applying, as I was saying here, turning knowledge into wisdom, the information that is being brought to you to heal you. And this can come through, these epiphanies that you just have when you're minding your business, when you're meditating, when you're praying, whatever it is. In your dreams or daydreams, this information could come in. You could stumble upon this information, as you're reading or researching or whatever it is. But this information can also come through other people. And of course, you will know what's important by whether or not it resonates with you. It's not about making it your story. It's about, I feel this to the core of my being, that this is something that I need to pay attention to. Oftentimes when things resonate with me, it'll make me emotional. That's not to say that's everyone's story, but it'll like, I will feel it in my, like, there's no mistaking it. Okay. I feel like those are the bigger challenges with this card, but there is this energy of wounds are healed here. And I do feel, here's the thing, Leo, I'm being reminded of the song Happy by NF. I will put a link in the description box. So if you want to check that out, because if you haven't heard it, you can do that. But there's a line in that song where he says something like, hold on. I don't know who I'd be if I was happy. And it's this fear of happiness because they've been like, the way that I interpret that is he's been living in this apathy for so long. And coming out of that is like, I don't even know what that means. I don't even know who I would be. Like, I don't even know if I want to be there because I'm comfortable here. So I feel like part of the challenge could be for some is actually living from a place where you are a bit more healed. Part of the struggle that I've had in my own experience, and I'm still struggling with this currently, this is a wound that I am still working on healing myself, is like waiting for the other shoe to drop type of thing, right? Like when certain things are happening and it's not what I'm used to. It is outside of what I've experienced, my wounds, and is more healthy, let's say. It's like waiting for the other shoe to drop. Okay. And it's hard. It is a challenge. Like, I've even had to say to people, like, it is not you. And I know that sounds very cliche, but it is me. I have to deal with this. I have to heal this. And I'm not there yet. Like, thank you for giving me grace. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for understanding that this is something that I am completely aware of. And I'm working on it. Right. But it is a challenge. Very much so. And I feel like that might be something that you also may struggle with. Okay. I also feel like some of you, I don't know why I'm getting this, but, and maybe this is for someone very specific, but some of you may struggle with taking it's like the things that drop into your intuition that are meant to heal you, like taking it and actually running with it, if you will. Okay. Like your intuition could tell you something and you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. Because again, I feel like some of you have been living kind of from like a worldly place, or that there's that energy of like imbalance between the spiritual and the physical. Um, and if you're somebody who's been living in a more worldly, materialistic, literal place, it can be very challenging to open up to those spiritual messages and that spiritual guidance that comes through, and to trust it, because it's not something you can define, right? It's not something that you can just give an explanation for. And, even in my own experience as a Capricorn rising, that's something that I've struggled with, because it's like there's no practical explanation for this, right? So let's take a look at the advice that is going to best support and serve you moving forward. We have Lumeria here, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. So yeah, I do feel like part of the advice here for you is that there is this opportunity, right? I feel like the advice is just reiterating the opportunity that is available to you, and that everything is being orchestrated in such a way, or it is happening in such a way, that you can create heaven within you. I mean, everyone can, if I'm being honest. Okay? It's just a matter of choosing to do that and putting in the dedication, right? Taking responsibility and just doing it. Again, much easier said than done. I'm not going to pretend for a moment that it's a walk in the park or that it's rainbows and butterflies and bunnies. Okay? Anyone who tells you otherwise is lying to you and is probably selling you something. Because it is not, there is no easy button. There's no easy button for all of the healing and trauma and wounding and things that we have to move through and face in order to begin to tap into that. That's my opinion. But I do feel the advice here is, again, you can create heaven on earth because the kingdom of heaven is within you. And I feel believing that is something that you're being encouraged to do, right? Or to try to do, or start to move toward, or, give yourself the opportunity to experience and to trust that this is happening for you. Again, you have that leap energy, and it takes a heck of a lot of energy to just jump off, just to jump off the edge of that cliff, to face your fears. I do find it interesting as well that the Lemurian epoch, according to Rudolf Steiner's work, I believe this is his work, the Lemurian epoch was a matriarchal society, or was a matriarch. And again, that feminine energy is surrendering, or one of the aspects of that is surrendering, right? So I'm picking that up as well, right? Surrendering to it's happening. surrendering to the opportunity to create heaven on earth within you, the kingdom of heaven within you. You do have the Knight of Swords here in the reverse. And what I want to say about this is I feel like that the advice here is to take it slow. Take it one moment, one step at a time. The Knight of Swords is one of the fastest moving knights in the tarot. And being in the reverse, immediately this energy I got was take it slow. Take it one step at a time. Okay? One step at a time. Get to know yourself. Know the direction you're supposed to be going. And I want to say that I'm not saying this from a literal, physical perspective. Okay? But it like for example, if your intuition is like, go left, you know, pray about it, meditate on it. Like, am I really supposed to be going left? Take it slow. Be in each moment. I feel like this is also something I feel like can help to create more harmony and peace within you, is to be in each moment. Right there. Not 5 minutes from now, not 5 minutes ago, but in each moment. Be there. All of your energy there. Right? It's not about, you know, being in a room with somebody, having a conversation, being on your phone, answering emails, you know, doing like thinking about something you have to do 3 days from now, thinking about work earlier. No, being in the moment, whatever that looks like. If in that moment you're doing dishes, focus on doing dishes. Okay? If you're having a conversation with somebody, be in that conversation. And even me, sometimes I still have to kind of like, hey, come back, you know, because that inner child, because I am also a Leo, that inner child is like, like off in la la land sometimes, you know, it wants to kind of, oh, squirrel, right? So I have to like, hey, come back, come back. So I do feel like that's another message for you, and that's advice for you, is to be in each moment and take things slow. Okay. Finally, you have Hathor Light Codes, Light Immersion, Full System Upgrade, and Power Recall. Yeah. So it's interesting that you have this upgrade energy coming through more than once. I also feel that Hathor, I believe, you guys, I'm definitely not in touch with like my human right now. But I feel it, if I remember correctly, Hathor is a goddess of fertility. And, you know, a lot of what's coming through here for you is about obviously, is about creating for yourself, right? Birthing something new. And so I do feel that there are energies that are surrounding you that are supporting this. You are in a position to recall your power or to reclaim your sovereignty, to build your confidence, to build your self-esteem, and to step into that leadership role of your own life. And again, I feel like there's a reminder here. You are on the precipice of the next level. Whatever that looks like for you. I'm feeling called to read from the guidebook for this card, so I'm going to do that before we close out your reading, Leo. Give me just a moment to find it in the book here. I just feel like there may be something for someone. Do we want to read? Okay. I'm actually going to read both the message and the interpretation. So it says here, Hathor, also known as Heteru, which means House of Horus, is an Egyptian cow and solar goddess. There it is. There's a reason for everything, right? Okay, a solar goddess associated with the sky and fertility. Worship of this enigmatic figure goes all the way back to the 3rd millennium BC. Hathor is easily recognized in Egyptian art, for she often wears a sun disk on her head that is held in place by 2 horns, relating to the cow, sacred symbol of motherhood. She is the divine consort of the hawk-headed deity Horus, allowing her to bridge this world and the cosmic realms and bring in the infinite light of the sun. This is why this card has shown up for you. In this gateway, Hathor is the figurehead of an intergalactic race of beings called the Hathors. There's a good chance that the ancient Egyptians were in touch with this divine race, as evidenced by the many Hathor pillars at the Temple of Dendera. The Hathors appear as elongated pillars of infinite light, illustrating their capacity to bridge heaven and earth. Their divine mission is to activate light up. Oh my gosh, let me read that again. Sorry. Their divine mission is to activate light upon the earth. Interlinked with both the energy of the central sun and Venus, they bestow solar light blessings and ignite the energy of unconditional love within. When you receive this card, know they are ushering in great blessings. This is a light immersion. You are experiencing a full system upgrade. The infinite solar light of the Hathors is surrounding you now. This is a time of expansion and excitement. You are filled with unlimited potential. Ooh, yes. The gifts that were once in darkness are now being brought into the light. The parts of yourself that were once hidden are now being seen. Life is being restored. If you have been experiencing sluggishness or tiredness, this is now being washed away. Something ancient has been awakened within you, or within, pardon me, and you are remembering why you are here. Welcome home to your light. I mean, this is marvelous, right? Because we have this energy of that solar light. We have the age of light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. And now we have this energy of these gifts being brought into the light. That something ancient, right? Secrets revealed, treasures uncovered, being awoken within, and remembering why you're here and welcoming you back to your light. Leo, you are the sun. And this is beautiful. What powerful advice for you. This is what I have for you, Leo, for December. I pray that something here has been incredibly valuable for you in some way, shape, or form, or has provided some kind of confirmation or help for you in some way. If it has, please do the YouTube things by liking, sharing, commenting below, or subscribing. It really does help the channel to grow, and it tells YouTube that there may be something valuable here for someone else, which I would love for others to be able to find. So thank you so much for doing that. Also, it helps me as an intuitive, so I greatly, greatly appreciate any of your comments, likes, shares, or subscriptions. I pray, Leo, that you are able to step into your light, no matter how long it takes. I pray that you are able to shine brightly and beautifully and boldly. I pray that you are able to reclaim your sovereignty, step into your kingly or queenly position, and to take the lead in your own life, creating something incredible, creating beauty, creating joy, happiness, fulfillment for yourself and those around you. Have a beautiful December. Take care of your growing, evolving, powerful, healing, worthy, bright soul. Peace be with you and within you. And I hope to see you in another video. Bye.